Well, I'm a pioneer, back on the spot, and as you know that the Netbank Cup Round of 32 draw produced a tricky opposition for the mighty Bucks. Talking about Chakuma Chamatsebandila will be facing Orlando Pirates. Well, this one is not going to be a walk in the park, as you know that we are still mounting a challenge for that Betway Premiership title. Can we do it? You bet we can do it. Alright, Mapagania, let's get to this one. Chakuma Chamatsebandila versus Orlando Pirates. This one is going to be a tricky one. I'm talking about they've won the Netbank Cup before. That was in the 2020-2021 season. The only season they were in the top flight. And in that season, we managed to beat them 3-0 in Venda. However, it was a goalless draw here at home, eSgodini. So it's a tricky one because it's a team that is not in the top tier. They're going to be facing Orlando Pirates. It's going to be that kind of a giant killer, David versus Goliath kind of a match. So we definitely need not to be complacent in this game if we are to be in the round of 16 and we are to recover the title that we lost in Durban at Moses Mabhida Stadium against our eternal rivals, but you know, our forever son, Kaizer Chiefs. But now, let's talk about the Nedbank Cup itself. It's going to be coming in between a very tricky fixtures in the league as well, because on the 24th of January, you know the mighty Bucks are facing Sekhukhune United away at Bitamukaba, while we're also going to be at eSgodini to face Makesi FC. While we're also going to be eSgodini to face Makesi FC. So it's going to definitely be a tricky one either way for us. And that match is going to be squeezed in because we're supposed to face AmaZulu. But I think that one with the dates being given like that from PSL, that is going to be on the 3rd of February. They might change it. As you know that also Mamelodi Sundowns were scheduled to also be somewhere there, but they shifted it to the 18th of February. And now this is also going to be interesting to see how Orlando Pirates, with other fixtures that are in between, how we actually going to play out. So look, we did add a couple of players, and there's some that I really would like to talk about. I understand that we did bring in Daniel Msendani, and we also brought in Mpho Chabatsani. But okay, Daniel Msendani, I think for me is, wow, it's going to add more pressure. Okay, let's start with Andre de Jong. Okay, Andre de Jong was a transfer from the previous window. However, Stellenbosch thought it was too late, it was premature for them to let go because there's a lot of things that happened with Stellenbosch, of ours, Pasadena as well, moving to Mamelodi Sundowns. It was an interesting one for how are they letting our players transfer out. So you saw a slump in their form as well. Was it because Andre de Jong didn't really want to play for them again? Was he actually excited and looking forward to a move to Orlando Pirates before then? I don't know. I'll let you tell it. Please drop your comments. But now, Andre de Jong playing attacking midfielder, second striker, even a center forward, those are adding more pressure to the likes of Relebohile. And I do not need to talk about Relebohile with the pressure that he already has, and I did tell you about it. And I'll even go in depth a little bit later on it. But Andre de Jong and also having Daniel Msendami there as a right winger means that there's now more depth in those positions where we had your Oswin Apolis, Patrick Maswanganye has to play in that number 10 role. Sipho Mbule as well has been playing that number 10 role. And you know Evidence Makgopa can be that center forward and can also be bullish with the way that he plays with his physical attributes. Where Tshegofatso Mabasa as well hasn't been getting the minutes that everybody wants him to get. And now he's also been deemed easy surplus to requirements. I do not know about that, but I still believe what I mentioned earlier on in my other videos is that Tshegofatso Mabaso is still an Orlando Pirates player and is going to be an Orlando Pirates player until the end of the season. What happens then, I cannot confirm. But yeah, that is interesting because with those players, kind of players being brought in, it leads me to the obvious one, Mpho Chabatsani. I mean, that was obvious. It was written on the walls that we are going to get a left-footed defensive player. And for the role that he has played, when I look at his stats, it's amazing. Because whenever he played as center back, even the top three, the big three, couldn't claim a victory against him this season. I'm talking about he defeated us in that fixture earlier on at the start of the season. They defeated us, Marumo Gallants, 2-1. He was playing centre back role 90 minutes. We're talking about Kaiser Chiefs. They drew against them 1-1. They drew against Mamelodi Sundowns. So Marumo Gallants, despite that, they couldn't keep the clean sheets, but they still got the point. So to get 5 points against the big three in the first round of the league fixtures, it's phenomenal for a team like Marumo Gallants. And remember, they went all the way to the final and the culling knockout. So only then did we manage to actually see that we definitely need him as the replacement of Mbegezeli Mbokas. And it's obvious that having to play left back and also being able to play as a left center back, for us it means that he's going to hit the ground running same time with Skukune United. And we need some electric cars out here. Oh, yeah. So it's definite that he's going to be playing right away, right against Skukune United. So it's interesting for me that what we have done in our squad, who the type of players we have added, we haven't been shy about the positions of players that we actually think that we're going to get out on loan, like Sfiso Lutuli, who's now been rumored to be going to Magesi FC, who will be facing later on this month. And you know that Orlando Pirates and their transfer policy, you don't get to face Orlando Pirates while out on loan. That has been the Orlando Pirates way, by the way. So that's interesting for me to see if Sfiso Lutuli, if he gets to be loaned out, will he face Orlando Pirates. It's going to be an interesting one. But about Relebohile Mofokeng, once again, to just confirm this one, look, he's still an Orlando Pirates player. Yes, it's getting to his head. I did talk about that. But an Orlando Pirates legend did come out. I think he was talking to local magazine Kickoff. And yeah, he actually echoed what I was talking about, that he's definitely under pressure. And for the fact that the other lads have moved out, and now to add Puso Ditechani moving to Chicago Fire. Wow, it's going to be interesting to see how is he really going to play. But when you look at the article itself, Steve Licolia is not even shy to say that he's already worried about the fact that will he probably get to move to another international, to move to an international club, or will he be at Orlando Pirates for a longer period? Will he see other talents move out before him? So I don't know. Mapagania, please drop your comments. I really need to understand about the situation of Relebohile Mofokeng, because I've already said my part that he's under pressure. His stats this season are not very good. He's going to be given a chance this season. Actually, for me, at this part of the second half of the season, I see him being the start of his season. Everything else of what happened last year, that goal that he got at the culling knockout final, I see it as now, okay, the resurgence of Relebohile Mofokeng after the injury. So now I'm actually going to judge what's going to happen. But hey, would be surprised. An offer might come in the coming 14 days or so before the end of the transfer deadline. So we can still check our tabs on it. But please drop your comments and tell me exactly what do you think about the situation of Relebohile Mofokeng. But I think I can just cap on the video right now, and just to congratulate Puso Ditechan on his move to Chicago Fire. I mean, to be linking up with Begezeli Mbogazi and other guys out there, it's going to be amazing. And Greg Peralta as well did come out talking about the type of talent that he's been scouting. So we can expect maybe more South African players that have been performing very well to move out to the MLS, and particularly the teams that actually have another South African coach. I'm talking about Philadelphia Union and the likes of former assistant coach of Orlando Pirates, Bradley Carnell. So yeah, let's cap it on here. X definitely has marked the spot. And yeah, for some more, we'll talk about it in the next video. But for now, it's marked out.